What happens when the world finally confronts one of its darkest chapters? What happens when history is no longer ignored, but officially condemned? In a historic move, Ghana has helped lead a global effort to recognize the well-known transatlantic slave trade for what it truly was: a crime against humanity. On March 25, 2026, the United Nations made a powerful declaration. The transatlantic slave trade was officially recognized as the gravest crime against humanity. This resolution, led by Ghana and supported by 123 countries, marks a turning point in how the world acknowledges its past. But this is more than a symbolic statement. It is the beginning of a deeper conversation about justice, accountability, and repair. For over 400 years ago, millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homes, families, and cultures. The transatlantic slave trade reshaped entire continents, leaving lasting scars that are still visible today. As historian Walter Rodney argued in his work, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, the legacy of exploitation did not end with slavery. It evolved into systems that continue to influence global inequality. This resolution forces the world to confront that reality, that truth. While many nations supported the resolution, not everyone agreed. Countries that rejected it were the United States, Israel, and Argentina. Meanwhile, several European nations chose to abstain. This division raises important questions. Why would some nations resist acknowledging this history, this truth, at the highest level? And what does this say about the global willingness to address historical injustice? The resolution goes beyond recognition. It calls for tangible actions, reparations for the descendants of enslaved people. Reparations is not only about money, but it is about a government making a commitment to formally correct that wrong. Formal apologies from nations and governments that benefited from the transatlantic slave trade, and the return of stolen cultural artifacts taken during colonial periods. These demands reflect a growing global movement, one that insists that acknowledgement alone is not enough. Justice must follow. Ghana's leadership at this moment is significant. As one of the key departure points during the slave trade, the Ghana carries a deep historical connection to this issue. Today, it is using its voice on the global stage to advocate for justice, not just for itself, but for the entire African diaspora. This reflects a broader shift. Africa is no longer just reacting to history. It is actively shaping how that history is remembered and how it is addressed. This resolution marks a powerful step forward and opens the door to difficult conversations about responsibility, repair, and what true justice really looks like. Because acknowledging the past is only the beginning. The question now is not whether the world recognizes what happened. The question is what the world will do next. If this made you think, share it with someone who needs to see it. And subscribe for more stories that explore power, history, and the future of our world. Because this is not just history. This is the fight for justice.